Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Josh with the Get Business Credit YouTube channel. Today we have two special guests, the founders, CEO and CTO, Enar and Rich Kane from Virgo. You guys might have seen the Virgo video that I did a couple weeks ago about the Virgo card. I wanted to have them on here to explain a little bit more about what is Virgo. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. Virgo, or not Virgo, I should say. Rich, if you want to kind of introduce yourself and kind of tell that little story about how you guys came up with the concept and idea for Virgo and who Virgo's for.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, Virgo is a financial platform for small businesses in the home building and renovation industry to run their finances. And the story starts with me in a small East Village apartment building furniture for myself and my wife with a frustration of not finding furniture that fit our apartment. That hobby turned into a business. I basically built a custom furniture business, which then turned into an interior design studio, which then turned into a contracting business. And basically what I learned in that journey was just that running finances in this industry is extremely hard. Most people have all these different softwares. They have a checking account with, say, Wells Fargo. They have an Amex account with a credit card. They have QuickBooks. They have an invoice software. They might have a project management tool. They have a piece of paper and pen. They have checks. And what frustrated the hell out of me when I was running those businesses was just like, why wasn't everything in one place? And why didn't I get access to, say, the credit that I deserved? If I've won a project, why couldn't I go and get a credit card or a credit line to support that project? And I was having to basically borrow money from my own bank account to pay for these projects. And it just really frustrated me. And that's where I met Anar. We decided to kind of build this business together. So what Virgo is on day one is it's a checking account. You get a debit card, you get a checking account. And we've built expense management tools, which means that every time you're receiving payments, every time you're spending money, you can basically tag it to a project level, which helps you with those great analytics, like how much of my projects have I spent against the budget? When do I need to next invoice the customer? And we're launching a lot of tools in the future. So one is going to be invoices. You're going to send invoices out of Virgo. You'll also be able to send payments to contractors in your industry in real time. And a load of other features that we're really excited to launch in the coming months, like a credit card with higher credit limits than you could traditionally get with, say, an Amex card. So that's kind of the story and the vision. And yeah, over to Anar to give a background on himself.
So yeah, it was like really amazing to join with Rich and see like how hard it is for this industry to manage their finances. So I think this is a very good problem to focus on. This industry is very special in certain ways. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here and to start like building this app. That it is amazing process that we have been like going. So
yeah, and I think what Anar mentioned there about a special industry is definitely the truth. There's very few industries where you're basically dealing with so much money and so much responsibility. And that's why it's very important for us to take into consideration the security of our customers' money. And that's why having first-class team with a banking background, I also worked at JP Morgan for 10 years. And now I worked at BBVA, which is a bank in Mexico. Our team has people from the American Express, team as well. So it was super important for us to really build a strong team that can like tackle this problem and make sure our customers' money is safe.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess especially in we'll get into that here in a minute on the different industries that you guys accept, but the most broad one would be like, say, general contractors. There's a lot of money that goes into roofing or whatever, somebody buying roofing supplies, and it be you send your employee to get different materials, but wood or whatever it may be, especially with the way building materials prices have went up so much in the past year. You guys help control that for the business owner itself, right?
Exactly, yeah. I think what's interesting about this industry is that there's just so much trust put with a client to the contractor to purchase all these materials. And often, which doesn't make really any sense, the contractor has to buy that in advance of the project being completed, which is a nuance which doesn't really exist in any other industry. It's like going to, expect that you have to have a home built or your home renovated and that the contractor might have to pay $200,000 in lumber and tiling and roofing, and then eventually they'll get paid by the customer. And I think, we're looking at all these nuances and trying to build solutions around it to really give that contractor the credit in advance and say, look, we know your background, we know that you're a good business owner, and we want to build tools that ultimately make your business stronger and grow faster.
Yeah, because there really isn't anything like this. There's plenty of the gas controls, gas card expense management platforms out there, but there really is nobody like you guys as far as like all-in-one solution as far as having the bank account, and you guys are going to be eventually offering the credit line card, and I think Rich, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys even offer certain clients particular credit lines based on the relationship and everything. Obviously, it's not something you're going to get right away. That's why I encourage all you guys, if you guys do qualify, deposit funds into the account and kind of use it regular as maybe a secondary bank account for your business, kind of like what Brex had. But again, this is only for certain industries. Rich, I don't know if you have that list handy. I don't have it right in front of me, but just so we don't scare away certain type of potential clients, but you guys are open to more than just home contractors. Like if you can kind of give a more of a broad range on what type of clientele you guys are looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if you're on a marketplace like Thumbtack or Houzz.com, Angie's, Home Advisor, all of these websites that people like consumers are searching for home improvement professionals, that could be roofers, plumbers, painters, it could be contractors, electricians, HVAC. It really is just this like huge industry of people that work in and around the home renovation industry are eligible for us. It could be a swimming pool builder. It could be, it really could be any of these people that are part of the trade. And I think that going back to what you mentioned about, letting certain people in, we view ourselves as almost like community banking, which is, when you join Virgo, you actually have an account manager. We get to know who your business is. And that means that we can give like these solutions for you. I know literally every single one of our customers by name. I have calls with them like every single day. It's very important for us to have that relationship. And as a benefit, that means that as a business working with us, you do get better treatment than you would with a traditional financial institution. And that's going to be our mission for a long time. Our job and our mission is to basically make your business grow, get better, get stronger, improve your credit ratings so that your business can thrive. Mission is to, increase your review scores with your customers. If you're currently like a 3-star on Yelp, it's probably not because you actually did a bad job of the project. It might just be because you couldn't communicate with the client about your finances properly, like how to invoice them, how to track your spend. And that's really the pain point we're trying to solve.
Exactly. So you guys are looking to, I guess the first thing you would need to do is sign up. You can use the link below. It's not an affiliate link. It's just kind of a tracking link for them to be able to, device or where these signups are actually coming through. But the link that's going at the bottom, and it'll be in the link in the description below. If you're on the mobile device watching this video, you'll be actually able to see the Virgo credit card icon and click on it, and then that'll take you to the actual sign up page. But they're pretty quick about getting back with you if they're able to accept you or not. Keep in mind there is a application process, even though it's not a particular credit line they're giving you, it's the bank account that they're giving you access to. Is that correct? Like you just can't, there's still a filtering process, even though it's not a credit line right off the bat, to get the account open.
Yeah, the process is pretty simple. You go on our website, you fill out the form, and we review every single one to see if you are a legitimate business in this industry. And we ask you for your website. Where can we find you? Where could a consumer find you? That for us is like a really important check to make sure that you are actually like, real and in this industry. And it just makes sure that we can trust you. We'll then give you the link to our application form. And then you go through our quality controls. That's a third party checks for any fraud risk, etc., to protect our customers. Then you'll be given a checking account, as Josh mentioned. The checking account comes with a debit card. There's cashback linked to that. You can create projects. You can start tracking your spend. And then if we, trust you and we feel like you're going to be a good customer for credit, we will be able to give you the charge card, which is coming in the next couple of months. But it's very much like a relationship type approach. We definitely want to give credit to the right people, but we also want to give credit to people that are just starting out. We want you to start your business with Virgo and build your credit with us. So we don't really have any minimum credit lines we're looking to give. We definitely just want to work with, great people that are hardworking who want to grow their business.
Okay. So you guys hear that? They're not like so strict as far as saying, oh, you have to be in business for 1 year, 2 years. You could be, a fairly new business as long as, because, there's a lot of like construction workers that literally quit their job and get their contractor's license and start their own business right away, and they don't know where to start. And I think this would be a good first step. Regardless of the credit line or not, you guys have the project, kind of like project management within the app, which we'll probably take a break here in a second. And I will actually show the demo of the app. And I deposited a $500 check last week into my Virgo app. And I'll show you guys how it actually shows all that, like that the check is cleared and all that. So what's the ways that you can fund after, say, somebody's approved and everything? How do you go about funding? I know in the demo we already kind of showed that, but what's the easiest way to get funds into the account?
Yeah. So there's 3 ways. One is check, like you mentioned. I mean, a lot of people get paid by customers in this industry of check. So that was like the most important one for us to build. The next one is connecting your external account. Let's say you wanted to connect your Wells Fargo account and pull in $500. You can do that. It takes about 1 or 2 days to come into the account. And then the other way is to just like ACH or wire from your external account to your Virgo account. So when you get a Virgo account, you get a checking number, you get an account number. If you're using an invoicing software, you could also update the invoicing software to your Virgo checking account to speed things up as well, and you would then bypass this whole funding process. But yeah, those are the main methods.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I'll show that again. I'll have the link in the description below for the last video I did a couple weeks ago about Virgo, so you guys can see more in detail of the actual app of the demo. And I'll probably have one in here within this interview as well somewhere. But what about the projects itself? When you create on the app, like it says, like on the website here, how it says my projects. So you would add, say you're a landscaper or whatever, you would add your project, your client's project or whatever in. Did I understand that correctly, or did I do that correctly on the demo last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. A classic example would be, let's say you're an electrician and you're doing 5 projects at the same time. One of the biggest pain points that you have is that right now you're maybe using an American Express credit card or Home Depot credit card. And for like all 5 projects, all that spend is just getting muddled together. With the Virgo app, it gives you the ability to split out that spend in real time between those 5 projects. So every time you're spending, you get a notification saying, hey, which project does this link to? You can go into that. You can then categorize it against the projects. And that means that when you're tracking the spend, you can invoice the customers quicker. You can see how much you've spent and how much profit you've made as well, which today you would have to then go into a bank statement. You'd have to download it. You'd have to tag all the spend. It just gets really cumbersome to actually calculate how much you've spent on projects.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and it was about 2 weeks ago, I think, is when I launched the Virgo video on on YouTube, and that's about the same time they actually officially launched. Now, just so the audience knows what to expect in the future, there's already so much, I think, feedback that you guys have gotten. You guys are working on different new features, but can you tell us any upcoming features that you guys plan to implement? Of course, it's all these fintechs, they're always adding all these new bells and whistles, but you guys are a little bit unique to the fact that you guys have that checking account built in and all that. So can you give us any information on that?
Yeah, the next two key ones for us is going to be invoicing. So you'll be able to send your customers invoices through the Virgo app. That will just then, speed up a lot of this, depositing thing. So the money can come straight in from the client to your Virgo account, and then you can take advantage of everything. And the next one is that credit card, the charge card that I mentioned, which is coming in around September, October. Again, we're only going to be giving the credit card to people that are actually actively using the checking account. So if we see a history of you depositing checks, you're going to be the first in line to get that. And again, that goes back to building a relationship and making sure we trust you and that you trust us and that everyone's, friends.
Exactly. That's the key, guys. Like I think I pretty much preach in almost every single video is think about that interbanking relationship, that trust you have to build with the underwriter. So if you guys are in one of these industries that qualify for the Virgo account and you guys want to get those credit lines, what you're going to need to do is just like anything else, you need to prove yourself. You guys aren't doing like hard pull credit checks or anything like that, are you? Or do you know what you're going to do on that, or is it just more about your relationship? That's your primary focus on things.
Yeah, so the main thing is the relationship. Like if you're using our checking account, if you're depositing, if you're a good customer, that's the most important thing for us. We are exploring our underwriting strategy, but there'll be definitely no hard credit pulls. We don't want to ding anyone's credit scores, that's for sure. And again, it looks at how healthy is the business, where that means money's coming in, you're spending, money's coming in, you're spending. That's what we look for, which is just like any business is doing anyway.
Right. And I know this question's going to come up because it comes up on, I just put out another video about Trip Actions, which is a travel fintech card, but almost every video of these different fintechs I put out, I always get the same questions from different people. Did they report to business credit bureaus? Before I even let them answer, I'm going to tell you guys the thing that's very common. I work closely with Experian, Equifax, Dun and Bradstreet, and Sonia, PayNet, LexisNexis, and Small Business Financial Exchange. One thing I can tell you is most all of them require you to have at least 3 months of customer data, and you need to have anywhere, depending on the credit bureau, 300 to 500 different clients of 3 months of data. So, so before I premature answer that question for you guys, keep that in mind. If Rich tells us they don't currently report, you have to understand that's probably the reason why. If they don't, then I will work with them closely to try to assist in any way I can to help them get set up on that process. But Rich, sorry about answering that kind of question before you could. I just want to put that out there because people do tend to care about that, and that'd be more based on that credit line that you guys are going to be potentially offering.
Yeah, I think you can't ignore the fact that business bureaus are just a part of underwriting. They probably will be for quite a lot of time. Our job then is to basically increase the ability for you to get financing and to be underwritten, which means reporting to the bureaus. And what we're trying to do is basically make you have limits that are healthy for your business that can help you get a better credit limit in the future. We don't want to give people limits for them to do something, they can't repay us, and then they actually end up losing in the long run. Our job is to actually improve the health of the business. And that means giving them limits which are good for their business, for them to improve those limits. And in the future, if they want to go and get higher credit limits from even somewhere else, that they'll be able to.
Yeah, spend smart, not just wasteful spending. Like a lot of businesses get too much credit, and then they kind of, get too many business ideas going in their head and good intentions, but then, next thing you know it, they can't repay all these, credit lines, So
Yeah, and I think some of the lessons we've been learning from our customers is that they're using their personal credit cards to finance projects, which has a really bad impact on their personal credit score. If
oh
your
yeah.
if your utilization is really high on your personal credit card, your personal credit score is going to go down, and that means if you need a mortgage or an auto loan, it's the worst case scenario to be in. So we always encourage people to not spend on their personal credit cards for projects and to actually get business credit.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I started the channel about 18 months ago, because I saw so many people that would use their American Express personal cards or their Navy Federal personal cards. And still to this day, 90% of people don't even know what business credit is, and they're still using their personal cards for, funding their business that they've been in business for, 20 years. Like I have a client of mine that I mentor that owns 3 McDonald's franchises out in California. And they use their personal credit cards to pay for things, and they don't realize they could use their business. So I'm trying to help them understand there's better ways to do it, that's not going to hurt their credit, temporarily taking that utilization ding.
Yeah.
Anyways, is there anything else that you wanted to add? You guys want to add at all? I'm sure we'll have you guys back on in the future as new updates come out, but just want to get you guys out there so people kind of know the background of Virgo and all that.
Yeah, I think the only thing is like reach out and ask us any questions. We basically are building this product for you guys, and we are willing to build anything you want for us to make your product perfect. Every feature today has pretty much been because someone has requested it. We really take feedback seriously from customers. For example, right now we're building Face ID. That's because our first users have complained that they can't log in quickly. So like literally we're now running it. We're going to build it in the next 2 weeks and we're getting it done. So yeah, tell us what you want. We'll get it done for you.
Okay, great. So what's the best way for somebody to ask any questions? Say they don't want to go ahead and apply or whatever. Is it going to be right here where it's the chat on the website, or what's the best way to, if somebody wants to ask questions before they go through the process, or even if they say go and get access or apply now, that's not a full app. I don't remember. I know you guys have changed some things since I applied.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the same.
You can email me directly, rich@getvergo.com, or anar@getvergo.com. I'm always here to answer any questions. So yeah, happy to pick up the phone and speak to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have their information in the description below. And definitely check out the past video I did about Virgo. It shows a lot more about the app, and we'll go from there. But definitely make sure only apply or sign up for Virgo if you're in one of those industries that's, related around, home building, landscaping, plumber, electrician, general contractor, anything like that. Would you say with the websites that Thumbtack, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think one more requirement I'll add in is that we're only accepting LLCs, corporations, and partnerships at this time. Sole props we can't accept just because it's risky to be honest. Listen to your previous video, like go and create an LLC and then you're eligible. Would definitely recommend that.
Yeah, and a single member LLC is pretty easy to do. I'm not a lawyer by any means or a CPA, so talk to somebody about that, a financial advisor about that. But I'll say, if you are a sole prop, you should just get the single member LLC. It's pretty simple and it's a very quick process. What about, I know some fintechs do not allow S corps. Do you guys have any problem with S corps? I know there's a few fintechs that for some reason don't accept S corps, which is the same as, it's just basically a LLC turned into a getting the same tax benefits basically as I and C.
Yeah, I believe we
No.
Anar, can you remember if S Corps is one that we accept?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean most of them do. It's just there's like I believe like the ADB gas card, and there's like one or two other fintechs that strangely don't accept S corps for whatever reason. So, all right, yeah, that's like Rich said, that's pretty much the only requirement, except everything but basically sole props, right?
Yeah, exactly. And if you apply and it doesn't work out, then we'll let you know why, and it's probably because you're not in our industry. But yeah, we're very transparent about that to anyone that applies and doesn't get approved.
Okay. All right. So again, you guys, only sign up if you're in one of those industries. I'll try to make a long list to help some of you guys out, because it's a pretty vague or broad list. So I'll put a list in the description below. Or if you think you're in one of those industries, go ahead and apply and start using Virgo and deposit and just keep on using it, because you're not going to get invited for the credit line that they're going to be launching if you just set up an account and just put $100 or $500 into it. You don't expect to get invited for the credit line if you're not going to show them that you're actually using it. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's honestly just to help people build credit better. And think of us like a modern Wells Fargo for this industry. We're not trying to be like a credit cards only. We're trying to build the whole financial platform for these users, and that means starting out with deposits, and then from that we can give better credit lines, basically.
Yeah, and as you guys saw from the demo of the app, it's very user friendly. I mean, everything's self-explanatory and very user friendly. Anyways, any final words both of you guys want to say before we shut this down? Okay.
I don't know.
They're a little shy not used to being on camera, but it's okay. Anyways, you guys go ahead and, like I said, sign up. The link will be in the description below. If you guys have any questions, make sure you put it in the comment section too, because I think Inner or Rich will be also looking at those comments, and they really take the feedback that the users give, to heart, and trying to implement different features or feedback that you guys give. So they can only make it better if you guys, tell them where you want it to make it better,
Exactly.
So, all right. Until next time, you guys take care, and be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, and please hit the thumbs up. All right. It helps the video go out to a wider audience. All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.